Everybody just wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day.
So hello guys. Hello everybody, hello, my name's Jake and welcome to Morning Coffee with Jake. So I promised you guys a video per day, at least for the next 1 week, and I couldn't come up with anything what kind of video I should do. So we're just gonna have a chat. So yeah, it's just me, like last time. It's almost exact copy of the last video. But instead I am speaking while I'm eating and having my morning coffee. You know, in my few years of being a game developer and being in the game industry, I have noticed a couple of things, and one of those things is something that was actually told to me by Commander K, lead designer at Google, working on the game called Pixel Worlds. He told me that nobody knows nothing. Everybody just tries to tell each other how good they are and what they do, and try to tell them how perfect everything is. But actually in the end they know absolutely nothing and they are scrambling in the dark. For this to be true, it would mean that, of course, you as well don't know anything and you know nothing. It is kind of sad thing, but also it is a very comforting thing. And personally, I've seen this more and more and more. The more I know, the less I know that I don't know, and more I see that other people know less and less. And they are just scrambling in the dark, trying to convince everybody else that they have this perfect secret formula that is going to take them to the skies and to the moon, and this is why you should give them money, and this is why you should care about their game and their things and how perfect they are. Like, of course, this happened in places that I've worked for, not so much in Kukore. Not so much there, but other places that I've seen. People are, for some reason, very afraid to mention or say that, hey, I don't know what you're talking about, or what are you saying? And the moment that you say it is when people think you are incompetent, when instead it is a strength. Like, you know that you don't know this. Then you can go and learn it. And learning something about game industry, some specific detail, some little detail, some little thing about this kind of goes to any industry, I guess. But if you ask it, then people might think that you are incompetent because you don't know this little detail when you just want to be sure, or ask about some other small detail that doesn't actually matter in any way, but you just don't want to mess up. So of course you go and ask just to be sure, and then people think you are incompetent. But yeah, that's not exactly what I'm talking about. I'm just starting to ramble on a little bit, but what I'm talking about more here are the bigger things. You know, we're talking about cryptocurrencies, NFTs, Web3s, for example, how people are talking about, and game industry professionals are talking about how this is the next big thing. Of course, I do believe 100% that in the future, especially on MMOs, at some point there is going to be a game. And there are already games like this, but games that do it correct and really can like take an advantage of it, is that you can basically buy anything with real money. So the currency of the game is tied to the real world currency, and then the game developer is there just working as a bank and as exchange manager, exchanging money for in-game currency, but then as well to the other way around, you know, just taking the in-game currency of the game and turning that into real life money. For example, I read a lot of books all the time, and I do read mostly like fantasy, lit RPG novels, a lot of like this, and sci-fi as well, and apocalyptic zombie survival books, mainly like that kind of content. And in one of those lit RPG novels, it's about a future where the world has been, it's the story of a shaman. Let me look it up for you. Too bad I'm not sponsored by Audible. I could really do a sponsorship right now with them. give you guys the first book for free. But let's save that. So don't go get it. Like, let's save that for another day. So when I get actual sponsorship with Audible, then you can go and get the game, or get it for free, and I get paid for them. But it's like 20 years in the future or something like this. The book is about a guy who gets framed, and then he cannot pay for the amount that he's supposed to pay from the legal repercussions that he got. So instead he's sent to a work camp to pay his debt off. And this work camp is actually inside an MMO, a virtual space where he mines resources for a company that then sells those resources to other players. And basically real life moves as fast as the game speed, basically. Then he has to start working there as a shaman, mine some resources and whatnot. And the whole idea is that by getting resources, he gets gold, and by getting gold, he can pay off those legal debts that he has, or he has to pay for the government, basically. Said to be one of the best, if not the best, lit RPG novels done by a Russian writer, a really good one, written by Vasily Mahanenko, and it's called Survival Quest, or The Way of the Shaman, Book 1. Really good one. I highly like recommend it if you are into that kind of books and whatnot. So a guy who is put into an MMO, a virtual reality MMO, and it's very interesting how it all goes. I really suggest you check it out. It's one of the best books that I've read. But that's basically telling us how big the game company can get if they do it correctly, and if they get the power dynamics correct in a Web 3, or let's say Web 4, or whatever that would be called at that time, how good and powerful it could be. But is it something like NFTs? No. Yeah, the trading has to be as free as possible, and you have to be able to trade between the game and in real life. There are some solutions, and there are some game companies and some other companies building on something that I cannot actually talk about here, that I know of. Something that is going to be very interesting, but still it's not there yet. And it needs a specific game in order for it to work perfectly. But yeah, we were talking about like how nobody understands and knows nothing. Everybody's been talking about how good Web3 or NFTs in games are, and I believe that they know nothing, because those are not the answers. At least that's my opinion, but once again, take it as it may, I know nothing. But yeah, it goes to the other industries as well, so of course they can know better. You can rely on that to your boss or whoever it is, teacher or parent or whatnot. You have to understand that they know nothing, but at the same time that they might know better than you. And then it might be better to listen to them and follow them, so you learn, and then you can actually be better. And at some point you realize that, hey, I know more than you, even though I still know nothing. There was this a very interesting study done. I saw a YouTube video about it, and it was about this study that they did. And in this study they analyzed people's perceptions about themselves and about their intelligence. Okay, if you are this intelligent, how do you see yourself compared to other people? And then you had to rank yourself. Are you very high on intelligence in your opinion, in this subject, or in this subject, or in this thing, or something like this? I don't remember it exactly. You had to rank yourself, like, are you better than your peers? And what they found out was that the dumber you were, the more intelligent you thought you are. A better IQ you had, the more you understood that you know nothing. So you might have said, okay, I am in the top 90% of all the people in the world. It was very likely you were dumber than average person. The dumber you are, the more intelligent you think you are, and the other way around. So this was a very interesting thing to notice. So with this, I can say and go back to the original point that nobody knows nothing. So when you are around the world and you listen and you hear someone talking how good of an idea or how you can make money online or whatnot for free, the first thing, there's no free things in the world and life, and second, yeah, just realize that no one knows nothing. Even I know nothing. And the whole point of this video is that I actually know nothing. So take that as it may.